Hi. I'm live and I'm early. You know what? I told Scooter you would think at the beach I would drink a lot of seltzer water. I don't have a tremendous thirst down there. I told her I came home and I'm like taking stuff out, cleaning, mopping because okay, I've been gone for how long? April? And I'm just downing this seltzer. This is so weird. Okay, what were we going to talk about? Well, we have to wait until the people come because I did say it was going to be 12:45. Hi, Al. Binky asked me if I was sleeping. Yeah, are you kidding me? I was cleaning my stove and my counters and my floors and mopping and oh my gosh. Gotta find I don't know when I have a doctor's appointment. My agendas are still in the car. I only got some of the stuff out. I have to get the rest of the stuff out tomorrow. I think it's Friday. So we're going to talk about Kohberger. Well, my train incident was really scary today. And I talked to my daughter about it. She said it was terrible. And hi, Christine. How are you? All right, let me get into YouTube. And we'll talk about the Menendez brothers. Let's talk about the Menendez brothers first. They were resentenced to life with parole. That's what I'm getting on that one. Let's see. Because I'm still 5 minutes early. Okay. So let's go on to this. The Los Angeles judge has reduced the sentence of Eric and Lyle Menendez. They're serving life in prison for the 1989 murders of their parents in their Beverly Hills mansion. Judge Michael Jessic resentenced the brothers to 50 years to life. A decision on their potential release must next be made by the state parole board, which will hold a hearing in the case next month. The district attorney had argued vehemently against a lower sentence, saying the brothers were not rehabilitated. The Menendezes claimed they killed Kitty and Jose Menendez out of self-defense after years of SA. The case divides many people. The judge agreed to resentence them on Tuesday afternoon. The brothers delivered an emotional statement to the court. They went through grim details of the brutal killing and their decision to reload their shotguns and keep shooting their parents at point-blank range in the living room of their home. They were 18 and 21 years old at the time. Eric Menendez, who is now 54, told the court, "I had to stop being selfish and immature to really understand what my parents went through in those last moments." He described the shock, confusion, and betrayal they must have felt seeing their sons holding guns and opening fire. Both apologized for their actions, and they talked about their hopes of working with SA victims, and helping those incarcerated if they were given a second chance outside of prison. Lyle Menendez's voice cracked. He's 57. It cracked as he talked about the impact of his unfathomable actions on the relatives. I lied to you and forced you into a spotlight of public humiliation, he said to his family. Los Angeles County District Attorney Nathan Hochman said the decision to resentence the pair was monumental and carried significant implications for the families involved. Much of the hearing centered on what the brothers have been doing in prison for the last 30 years. Family members and those who worked with them in prison detailed the educational courses they completed and the programs they created to improve the lives of inmates, including a hospice initiative for the elderly and the sick. Judge Jessic called the brothers' work while in prison remarkable, but noted that their 1996 sentences to life without parole were justified at the time. He said under the guideline they were eligible for resentencing, issuing his new sentence of 50 years to life. The brothers must have been held in custody. They have both been held in custody since 1990. So 50 years to life, but a judge, as the judge continued reading, the brothers smiled and waved to their attorneys and family members who were crowded into the courtroom. Family members hugged each other and were smiling. Today is a great day, defense lawyer Mark Garagos told reporters outside the court. He said they were one huge step closer to bringing the boys home. Anna Maria Baralt, the brother's cousin who testified in court earlier in the day, said their family was elated. She said it's a difficult process. She said, talking about the parole hearing that the brothers have to go through. She said they will eagerly step through those doors if it means we can have them home. Inside court, relatives pleaded with the judge to allow the brothers to be released. Ms. Brault, who said she has been close with them since they were children, told the judge they deserve a second chance at life. She said that Lyle Menendez has acknowledged to her that he had asked a witness to lie when testifying at their previous trial. She added, though, that they are very different men from the boys that they were. The judge also heard from a retired Florida judge who said he has never testified on behalf of any criminal defendant, and Neray X rated Brown, a rapper who was in prison with both brothers, and credits their help for his release. The district attorney's office, which fiercely opposed the brothers being released, questioned each witness about Eric and Lyle's litany of lies they have clung to since the murder. Prosecutors say they lied to law enforcement immediately after the crimes. They lied to family members about their guilt and gave false evidence at their trials. Prosecutors said Eric and Lyle have continued to make excuses for their behavior instead of taking full responsibility. There's no doubt they've done all these positive things in prison. Great, But when reversing a judge's unanimous verdict in such a brutal murder, it's important to make certain they are truly rehabilitated. The case got thrust back into the spotlight with the Netflix drama Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story, as well as the docudrama The Menendez Brothers. Okay, it introduced the case to a new generation, and it garnered the attention of celebrities like Kim Kardashian and Rosie O'Donnell. who are both calling for the brothers to be released. The previous district attorney, George Gascon, backed their resentencing bid, allowing the effort to go before the judge. The next step for them will be the California Parole Board. The board has already been vetting the siblings after a request by Governor Gavin Newsom. The governor is separately weighing a request from the brothers for clemency, which could take the form of a reduced sentence or a pardon if approved. A risk assessment has been completed on them. That's part of their request for clemency. The district attorney said it indicated a moderate risk of violence. However, the full report was not released. Newsom asked the parole board to conduct a risk assessment, which has already been drafted, that examines whether they pose a risk to the general public if they're released. The state parole board is set to conduct a separate hearing on the 13th of June for them. It's unclear what could come at the hearing or if there might be multiple hearings vetting their potential release. And that's all she wrote about that. Let's see who's in chat, because we're going to go on to the other stories. Hi. I'm live and I'm... Okay. Hi, Denise Sanchez. Hello there. Okay, let's go on to... Hold on. Can we get a few more likes, please? All right, we're going to go on to Bryan Kohberger and look at the new evidence there. Because, I told you I'm playing catch-up too, right? So we're going to learn about it together. Even if you know about it. We're going to learn it again together. Okay. So, let me get a graphic up here. Where did you go, Joe? Where did you go? All right. Back in the swing of things. Tomorrow's an auction, okay? Okay. So here we go. Let's talk about this. Here we go, guys. I heard that Dateline is the one that got this stuff, right? Okay, so according to Dateline's understanding of the events, the killer entered the home at 4 a.m. with the intention of killing only Madison Mogen. But to his surprise, Madison was not alone. Kelly Gonsalves, who had recently moved out and returned for a visit, was sleeping in Mogen's bed with her. On the floor below, Xana Kernodle was scrolling through Instagram and heard a struggle above. When she ran up to the next floor, the killer chased her back down to the bedroom. It's believed the killer dropped the sheath while chasing Kernodle. On that floor, the killer found Kernodle's boyfriend, Ethan Chapin, passed out in bed. According to the report, the killer struck Chapin with a knife just once, and it hit an artery. An eventually exhausted killer came across a fifth roommate, Dylan Mortensen, whom he passed on his way out the door. Criminologists who spoke to Dateline believe the intruder didn't have the stamina to attack a fifth victim, especially one who didn't engage with him physically. And hours later, police found the four dead in pools of blood. Mortensen described the intruder as a man with bushy eyebrows, but could not identify Kohberger during 4 interviews with police. Okay, so they say that 4 a.m. the suspect arrives at the house between 4 and 4:17, the time of the murders. 4:19, a roommate calls 3 victims, no one answers. 4:22 to 4:24, the surviving roommates text each other from inside the house. At 4:27, the roommate calls victims again, no answer. 4:32, the roommate texts Gonsalves, please answer. At 10:23, the surviving roommate texts the victims, no one answers. At 11:39, the roommate calls her father. At 12 p.m., 911 call placed from the roommate's phone. Okay, and Dateline said they couldn't figure out why Kohberger would target Madison Mogen. The two were strangers who hung out in opposite circles from all viewpoints there. Now they're talking about Howard Blum, who wrote a book. Now we know Howard, oh my gosh, said that Kohberger may have been well aware of Mogen's existence to the point of an obsession. For years, Kohberger has followed a rigid vegan diet after he was bullied in high school for his weight. The Mad Greek is the only restaurant in the area known for serving vegan dishes. In fact, a former employee told People magazine in 2023 that she saw Kohberger there at least twice, ordering vegan pizza. Mogen was a waitress at the Mad Greek. Kohberger most likely first crossed paths with Madison at the Mad Greek restaurant on Main Street in Moscow. And that's according to that guy, Blum. Yeah, he said a lot of things that were crazy. Did they talk? Did he ask her out? The prosecution and the defense have agreed there is no evidence of any interaction, either in person or on social media. But it wouldn't have been necessary for Kohberger to have become infatuated with the 21-year-old Mogen's pretty face, her long blonde hair, her sparkling personality. Obsessions came easy to him. He was, after all, a recovering heroin addict. As this theory goes on, Kohberger viewed Mogen as the exact kind of woman he could never have. Beautiful, vibrant, popular, and fun. After the initial encounter at the Mad Greek, it is suspected that Kohberger continued to follow Mogen, and at some point, the obsession turned into murderous intent. And this is all from this guy Blum. I can't believe this. Oh my gosh. This is crazy, you guys. Everybody's been going crazy about evidence, and it's from this guy Howard Blum. Do you know how much crap Howard Blum has said? Oh my gosh. This is crazy to me. This is absolutely crazy. He reminds me of a Sherilyn Cadle. Oh my gosh. Oh, that he might have been watching from the shadows. For the record, it's unclear if the prosecution believes or will present any theories of these Dateline theories. All these Dateline theories. Oh my gosh. According, Amazon records show that Kohberger purchased a matching sheath to the one at the scene with his DNA and K-bar knife, which authorities claim was used to kill all 4 victims months prior to the date of the murders. After the murders, records show Kohberger clicked to purchase another sheath and knife but never finished the order on Amazon. Criminologists suggest that he wanted to buy a new knife and sheath to show authorities that they were not missing or containing the DNA of the victims. Or perhaps Kohberger, whose browser history showed a fascination with notorious serial killers, Ted Bundy, was planning something else. Oh my goodness. The defense will almost certainly argue that ordering a knife and searching for another is not a crime. As of publication, police have not recovered the murder weapon, Elsewhere, the jury will have to decipher the significance of the FBI cell phone tower data that showed Kohberger's cell phone ping nearly a dozen times to a tower that provides coverage to an area within 100 feet of the home in which the victims were murdered. The cell phone records indicated that Kohberger was within 100 meters of the Kings Road residence on 23 occasions, and all the trips were after dark. At 3:30 a.m. on November 13th, 2022, the night when Cornudel, Gonsalves, Mogan, and Chapin were killed, a white Hyundai Elantra resembling Kohberger's was seen turning onto King Road, according to the security video. Okay, let's see what else we have. Just 3 minutes later, the car was seen leaving King Road, turning right. 5 minutes later, at 3:38 a.m., the car was back on King Road and exited at 3:40. At 3:56, the car was seen turning onto King Road and left at 3:58. At 4:06, the Elantra was seen doing a U-turn and going back onto King Road at 4:20. After Kohberger allegedly killed the 4 college students, the car was seen speeding away from the Kings Road residence. Sorry, I'm getting tired. At 10:31 a.m., Kohberger's phone pinged to a tower that served the towns of Clarkston, Washington, and Lewiston, Idaho. According to the Dateline report, law enforcement officials believe Kohberger could have been disposing of evidence such as a knife or clothing. Kohberger allegedly went back to the King Road residence at 9:12 a.m. He was allegedly in the area for minutes and then went back to his apartment in Pullman, Washington. At 10:31 a.m., Kohberger's phone pinged to a tower that served the towns of Clarkston and Lewiston, Idaho. According to Dateline report, they believe Kohberger could have been disposing of evidence such as a knife or clothing. Did I say that again? Oh my gosh. Okay. Now let's see where this is all coming from. A 30-year-old doctoral student studying criminology at Washington State University is accused of stabbing to death Menendez, because over the past year, NBC's Dateline was able to gather information regarding the case. Okay, let's see. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired, you guys. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this justice. It's 1 a.m. I think I might have to just... We'll look at Bryan more. We're gonna do Karen Reed and just see what's going on. I think court canceled today. Let's see. I'm gonna just do a quick P. Diddy. I am so tired. I don't know, it just hit me like crazy. I didn't stop going since I've been home. Oh my gosh. So Karen Reed's health pauses her murder trial. Let's see. Testimony was postponed Tuesday because of a health issue that Karen Reed had, according to the court clerk. A source close to the case told a CVB reporter that Karen Reed is the one who is sick. Okay, so what would have been the 15th day of testimony was canceled. State police troopers were in position and awaiting the arrival of the attorneys and witnesses for their 9 a.m. start, and just after 8:30 a.m., the court emailed on notice to the media, please be advised that the trial in the Commonwealth versus Karen Reed is not taking place today due to unavoidable circumstances. Okay, so she's not feeling well. Closed door hearing was held Tuesday regarding the scheduling. The prosecutors were in person with Judge Beverly Canoni, and the defense team appeared virtually. Karen Reed has publicly discussed her ongoing health issues, including Crohn's disease, multiple sclerosis, but it's not clear if today's delay is related to either of those conditions. Former Attorney General Martha Coakley said illness delays are not uncommon, but if they become extended, the judge may ask for the legal equivalent of a doctor's note. Defendants have a right to be at the trials, but trials can go forward without the defendant being there if necessary. So I'm sure the judge will take this one day at a time, but she's going to want some indication from defense counsel as to the nature of the illness and how long it's going to last. On Monday, the defense attorney, Alan Jackson, can't believe his name is Alan Jackson, focused on the investigation into the death of John O'Keefe and Massachusetts Police Sergeant Yuri Buchanik's role as Michael Proctor's supervisor. Buchanik admitted he saw text messages from Proctor. In one text, Proctor used a derogatory term to refer to Karen Reed. In another, he told co-workers, "No nudes so far," while searching for Karen's phone. I am so tired, guys. I am so tired that I have things to read from this and I can't even do this, but let's just do P. Diddy and it won't be clickbait, and then we can go to bed and hopefully start fresh tomorrow. P. Diddy's trial latest. Okay. P. Diddy's trial latest. The rapper made me apply baby oil every 5 minutes during freak-offs. A tearful Cassie tells the court. The second day of Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking trial has ended in New York, with his ex-girlfriend Cassie giving evidence against him for more than 6 hours. The rapper denied all charges against him. And here's what happened in court. Sean Diddy Combs' ex-partner Cassie testified against him. She said she was 22. Here we go. Cassie describes freak-offs. I was 22 at the time. My stomach churned. Prosecutor Emily Johnson quickly moves on to an image of the Intercontinental Hotel in Century City, Los Angeles, the hotel that was discussed yesterday. Cassie Ventura tells the court it shows her and Sean Combs and that they were having an encounter at the hotel known as a freak-off. Asked how she knew what a freak-off was, Ms. Ventura said Sean Combs proposed a sexual encounter with a third party during the first year of their relationship. Oh, hold on. We have to put Sean Combs up here. And we have to catch up with this trial, too. Oh, my gosh. I am so tired. Oh, come on. Okay, so let's go. Ouch. So she accused Sean Combs, this is Cassie Ventura, of R and years of physical abuse in a 2023 lawsuit that was quickly settled. Her testimony is vital to the prosecution's case. She's going to return on the stand tomorrow. Okay, so some of the things that she revealed today during the 6 hours: that the drug-fueled freak-offs could last for days. These S sessions, known as freak-offs, ranged from roughly 36 hours to as long as 4 days, Cassie said in her testimony. Sometimes without any sleep, she recalled drinking, taking drugs, and having S with strangers while staying up for days on end. Drugs kept them awake, she said, but then she would need to recover from the drugs, the dehydration, and the sleep deprivation. The freak-offs became a job where there was no space to do anything else but to recover and just try to feel normal again. Ms. Ventura testified the freak-offs orchestrated by Sean Combs took a big chunk of my life. She said it continued for years, sometimes on a nearly weekly basis, and at the end of the sessions, she said the hotel room linens were often soiled with baby oil residue as well as body fluids, which included blood and urine. She was trying not to cry as she testified that the freak-offs made her feel disgusting and humiliated. Let's see. She also said that Sean Combs dictated her sex acts and her appearance down to her nail color. The lawyers for Sean P. Diddy Combs have argued that the S acts were consensual, but Cassie Ventura repeatedly said otherwise. She detailed Sean Combs' alleged orchestration of the freak-offs down to how he dictated the color of her nails, which needed to be white or white French tips, and which S act she performed, demanding she reapply baby oil every 5 minutes until she was glistening, and paying male escorts less if they failed to perform to his standards. Cassie Ventura testified that over time, the S sessions grew more elaborately staged, with Sean Combs specifying that they be lit by candles or colored lights similar to what was used on music videos. Cassie said at times, and she spoke graphic descriptions of S acts that she said she did not consent to, which included lying on the floor in a position I could not easily get out of, she said. She said that an escort urinated on her at Diddy's direction until choking. She put up her hands. Eventually, Sean saw me and told him to stop. Wow. Cassie Ventura, whose relationships with Sean Combs was intermittent over a period of more than 10 years, described falling in love with him and participating in these freak-offs because she wanted to make him happy. When you're in love with someone, you don't want to disappoint them, she testified. But as the years passed, she said that even as she still sought to please him, she recognized that he had become increasingly abusive and that he beat her, and orchestrating even more degrading sessions that made her feel like her career was no longer music, but performing for his sexual satisfaction. Sean Diddy Combs' lawyers have depicted the acts as consensual and denied that there was anything coercive about them. But Cassie Ventura started to explain why she did not end the relationship, which she described as feeling fearful not just of Sean Combs' anger, but of his power over her career and the fact that he possessed videos of the freak-off that could be used to blackmail her. The judge denied a request to downplay Cassie Ventura's visible pregnancy. She was expected to be the star witness, has always been. Let's see here. Her dramatic figure on the stand. She's testifying while in the third trimester of her latest pregnancy, so far along that the defense asked the judge to consider having her seated in the witness box before the jury entered, so the visibility of her pregnancy would not prejudice the jury against Sean P. Diddy Combs. The judge did not grant that request, and she arrived in the courtroom in a brown turtleneck dress that accentuated her pregnant belly. Sean Combs turned in his chair to watch her enter, but she stared straight ahead. Cassie Ventura's husband, Alex Fine, was permitted to stay in the courtroom under the condition that he leave when she is questioned about an allegation that Sean Combs arred her in 2018, but that line of questioning did not begin on Tuesday. Okay, let's see. Today, Cassie Ventura watched that surveillance footage on a hotel elevator bank in 2016 where she was barefoot trying to leave the building when Sean Combs appeared in a towel and throws her to the ground. After he threw her to the ground, she said she covered her face, stayed on the ground because she didn't want him to do any more damage than he had already done. Excuse me, I'm trying to get this out here. Okay, where was I? I know what happened to my thing here. Okay. Let me get this over here. All right, let's see. Ouchie. I'm trying to get to this. The defense fought hard to get the surveillance video showing Sean Combs. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? Assaulting Cassie Ventura in the hotel hallway, excluded from the trial. It was published by CNN last year, and the defense argued that it was presented out of order and sped up. The judge denied the request, and before playing it for the jury, the prosecution had the video slowed down. We're going to say, let me see. Okay, there you guys are. Hi, it's just me. Hi, little lady. We are going to have an auction tomorrow. I am just so exhausted, guys. So sorry. I'm going to get back into it, I promise. We appreciate you guys. And thanks so much for watching. And I'm really sorry that I'm so freaking tired. I can't even think straight. I'm just so tired. I love you guys. God bless. Prayers. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay, thanks, guys.